Stephen was a very lonely man living in a small house at London. He was working at an Egyptian museum. He was so lonely that he often talked with a statue performer. He was his only friend. He always wished he had a girlfriend. One day a colleague at his work asked him out for a date. He was so happy and returned home with a lot of hope. Stephen was trying to get some sleep but he couldn't. He then suddenly slept and landed in an anonymous place. His mouth was bleeding and his jaw was dislocated. He barely stood up and began to hear some voices in his head. Suddenly some men started shooting at him. He ran for his life and hid in a mob. The mob was following a man named Arthur. Everyone respected him. Arthur stood in front of the crowd and talked about heaven and sins. He called one man and grabbed his hands. Suddenly the tattoo in his hands started moving and it balanced, indicating he was worthy to live in heaven. Next an older woman grabbed his hand and the weight didn't balance. She died quickly. Arthur and his troop noted Stephen and called him forward. Stephen had a small golden tortoise-like thing in hand. Arthur ordered to give him that, but Stephen couldn't. The voices in his head were not allowing him. It was controlling his body. They were trying to forcefully take the thing from him and suddenly he blacked out. When Stephen came into control he saw all other men were bleeding and defeated. He was covered in blood. He flooded from there in an ice cream van. They followed him. Stephen was afraid and blacked out again when he came into control again. All the people who were chasing him were dead. He saw woods falling in front of him. Frightened, he cried out loud and woke up in his bed. Realizing all was a bad dream, he was calm and went to the restaurant waiting for his girlfriend. She was late and he called her. She replied the date was 2 days ago. Stephen froze. Realizing the nightmare was not over, it just began. Subscribe for more.